All right, so let's take a look in this case as the limit of k approaching infinity of the k plus 1 term divided by the k term. Okay, so that's going to give me negative 1 to the k plus 1 over 10 to the k plus 1 times x minus 5 to the k plus 1 divided by negative 1 to the k over 10 to the k times x minus 5 to the k. Okay, so let's use our exponent rules and break this apart. So, and then we have a little bit of fraction rules that we can apply. So that's negative 1 to the k times negative 1 over 10k times 10. And that's x minus 5 to the k times x minus 5. Oh, then we got negative 1 to the k, and we got a 10k there, and then we have an x minus 5 to the k there. Okay, and then certain things are going to divide out. And so that leaves me with the limit as k approaches infinity. Looks like we just have a 1/10 left over. So 1/10, and then we have our x minus 5. So that's just 1/10 times the absolute value of x minus 5. Okay, so let's set up our inequality and see if we can figure out the radius of convergence for it. So it's 1/10 absolute value of x minus 5 is less than 1, which implies, because we multiply by 10, I get x minus 5 is less than 10. And then if we break it up into our definition of absolute value, that says that negative 10 is less than x minus 5 is less than positive 10. So I'm going to add 5 to both sides, and that'll give me negative 5 is less than x is less than 15. So far I know my interval of convergence is from negative 5 to 15. What I don't know is if those are brackets or parentheses, and that's a matter of us testing what happens at negative 5 and then also what happens at negative 15. So let's do that test. Okay, so I kind of sped the process up mainly because I felt like I wanted to take a second just to review this. So in series, we have something called the Nth Term Test. The Nth Term Test says if the limit as n approaches infinity of a term is not 0, anyways, my dogs are choosing to bark at that particular point. So if the limit as the n approaches infinity of a given term is not 0, then by the Nth Term Test, the whole series itself diverges. So as you can kind of see the calculations that I worked out there for you, if I evaluate it at negative 5 and at 15, I end up with something that doesn't equal 0. So therefore, the series themselves are divergent series. So what does that tell us about our interval of convergence? We now can throw on the parentheses part of that, and there you go.